Welcome to the Film and TV channel. Today we've got a film review. Yeah, it's called The Power of the Dog, and we got a western here. It's set in 1925, so I suppose you class that as a sort of modern western, wouldn't you? This is written by and directed by Jane Campion. Yeah, she's done some good stuff, and it's based on the 1967 novel of the same name by Thomas Savage. I mean, 1967. It took a long while to get on screen, hasn't it, guys? This one, of course, film stars Benedict Cumberbatch, Kirsten Dunst, Jesse Plemons and Cody Smith-McPhee. And it's an international co-production. Yes, we've all teamed up. New Zealand, Australia, the UK, the United States and Canada have all teamed up to produce this. So there you go. And it had a limited theatrical release in Australia and New Zealand on November the 11th and in the US and the UK on November the 17th. And it was released to stream worldwide. Yes, so you can watch it now on, yes, the subscription channel Netflix. Check your streaming service if you haven't got Netflix, if you anyone else can get hold of it. But that was from December the 1st. So I'm recording this on December the 5th. So there you go. And everything today is at December the 5th at 1 p.m. UK time. So all the scores and comments. What's it about? Well, it's about Phil Burbank, of course, a cowboy as raw as his hides. Yes, the year is 1925. His brother is very, very different character altogether. The Burbank brothers are wealthy ranchers in Montana. At the Red Mill restaurant on their way to market, the brothers meet Rose, lovely Rose, the widowed proprietress, and her impressionable son, Peter. Phil behaves so cruelly he drives them both to tears, reveling in their hurts and rousing his fellow cowhands to laughter. All except his brother George, who comforts Rose, then returns to marry her. Oh, what? God bless him. As Phil swings between fury and cunning, his taunting of Rose takes an eerie form. He hovers at the edges of her vision, whistling a tune she can no longer play on the piano George bought her as a sort of gift for the wedding, I think. His mockery of her son is more overt, though, amplified by the cheering of Phil's cowhand disciples. Then Phil appears to take the boy under his wing in his latest gesture. A softening that leaves Phil exposed, or a plot twisting further into menace? There you go. We'll watch the film and find out. Well, any good? Well, let's have a look. Rotten Tomatoes, loved it. Absolutely loved it. The critics on Rotten Tomatoes, an approval rate of 96% positivity, 231 reviews, and an average of 8.6 out of 10. That's pretty high. That's 221 fresh and just 10 rotten, so I won't even bother finding a rotten. I couldn't find, I was ploughing through the list. I thought, no, well, there's only 10 of them. There's no point, is there? The site's consensus reads, brought to life by a stellar ensemble led by Benedict Cumberbatch, The Power of the Dog reaffirms writer-director Jane Campion as one of her generation's finest filmmakers. Big words, of course. Beth Webb, one of the many freshies on this, I'll just quote her. She's from the Empire magazine. The narrative here feels somewhat underdeveloped, but Campion remains a master of sensory storytelling, delivering a scorching study of masculinity rooted in fear. So yeah, not gushing, but obviously she emphasises the good bits in this. The Rotten Tomato audience not quite as impressed as the critics. They're only giving it it's still a good score, 3.6 out of 5. So that equates, obviously, if my maths are correct, 7.2 out of 10. So not too bad. Metacritic, the other critic site to look at, assigned a weighted average of 89 out of 100. Again, very, very high. That's based on 56 critics, who've left a score or review, and it scores anywhere between 70, which is the lowest, 70, to 100. So I'll come out with the lowest. One of the lowest was Variety's Owen Gleiberman, who wasn't exactly scathing as you'd expect for a 70 out of 100. He says all of this should build slowly and inexorably in force and emotion, but for a film that's actually at heart rather tidy and old-fashioned in its triangular gamesmanship, well, it's a 67 novel, isn't it? Unless obviously they're probably working within that constraint. The power of the dog needed to get to a more bruising catharsis, he goes on to say. In its crucial last acts, the film becomes too oblique. Yeah, I understand what he's saying there. He still got 7 out of 10 because overall he obviously was impressed with the film. Internet Movie Database, yes, Joe Public, you and me, the guys who've gone to the cinema to watch this. Yes, a very good 7 out of 10. Nothing wrong with that score at all. Again, not as high as the critics, but sometimes the public aren't as high as the critics or vice versa. And it scored Guys score. I've ignored the 10s and the ones. I always do this now, guys. I've ignored the 10 out of 10s. There's nothing worth 10 out of 10. I'm sorry. Some of the critics have give this 10 out of 10 as well. Nothing's worth 10 out of 10. I don't know where they're getting that from. So the scores between 6 and 9 out of 10, 12,014, and that's 83% of the total, because the guys who give it between 2 and 5 out of 10 number 2,546. So as a percentage, that 12,000 is 83%, means an 83% positivity, if you like. So that equates obviously down to the 7 out of 10 overall average. So very, very good. Not all positive. Am I going to be positive? Yeah, I am going to be fairly positive. Not gushing by any means, but I'm going to be fairly positive. I did find the ending that was mentioned by one of the critics there just a little unconvincing, though it was quite clever. To me anyway, it wasn't 100% clear. I had to think on and read a couple of things before I thought, oh yeah, okay. But it did take an age to get there. Just over 2 hours, the film. I wasn't bored by it. I found it excellent. I mean, some of the sets are superb. Some of the scenery, wherever it's shot, if it's actually shot, as I said, in Montana, I'm not too sure. It's certainly got the, I don't know too much about the American West, but it looks the part anyway. But for me, it was just an okayish, interesting. It's one of those films where you keep watching it because you want perhaps something else to develop, and things do develop. Interesting little subplots within the story. There is a hint for me, a small hint of Brokeback Mountain. Of course, there's a little hint of Legends of the Fall as well. Both of those films I quite liked. And this show character-driven drama won't really appeal to everybody, but of course it appeals to the critics. It is a sort of critics film for me, obviously character-driven like it is, as long as the actors do a reasonable job, which they do. And I don't think the public are that far behind enjoying it, but it will turn some of the public off just because of the pace of the film, I think, to be honest with you. Benedict Cumberbatch is probably the standout in the film. Thoroughly unlikable early doors, but perhaps this nastiness, as we find out as the film goes on, hides something a little bit deeper in his past, which is fair enough. And this is where the film leads with this darkness, of course, that turns to a little bit of light, doesn't it? But we're never quite sure. We're never quite sure there's ulterior motives, which is how it should be. And he's ably assisted by his co-stars. They do a pretty good job backing him up. But Benedict sort of leads the whole thing, to be honest with you. I liked it. I did like it. I'm not as impressed as others. I just, as I said, an ending that could have been slightly better for me. And as I say, but it was definitely watchable. So I'm going to give it my basic 6 out of 10 watchable score. I'm not going to go gushing like some of the critics, but if someone wanted to watch it again, I would definitely watch it again. Or if someone else wanted to, I fancy watching that, I'd sit down and watch it with them. But if you like a sort of laid back Western drama with a little bit of darkness into it, but very, very modern Western. There's no gunfights at the OK Corral in this, guys. But if you like a laid back Western drama with a bit of an edge to it, which has a bit of darkness to it, then this is okay. As I say, it's not all gunfights and chasing and attacking Red Indians and stuff like that. It's 1925 after all, so that sort of says it all, doesn't it? Is that before? Yeah, a bit before the Waltons' time. I think the Waltons, one of my favourite dramas of all time. The Waltons probably started 20s, wasn't it? 20s, 30s. So, yeah, that sort of time. It had that nice sort of feel to it, that sort of time feel to it as well, which was interesting. And I just thought of the Waltons now, one of my favourite. I still watch it the whole season again, the seasons again, to be honest with you. I think one of my favourite ever Western, sort of modern Western, if you like. But it's not really Western, is it? But a family-driven drama based at those times, of course. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think if you get to watch this. Say it is on Netflix. Just check your service wherever you are as I'm recording this. Thanks for watching. We're going to do the rest of it. Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More important, let's all look after each other. We'll meet here again on the Film and TV channel, or perhaps have a check of my Citizen channel, my channel on my football team, Manchester City. If that's of any interest, or you know somebody who might be, give them a nudge in my direction. All please thumbs up for these film and TV stuff. I don't get as many as from my football ones, so if you can just remember to do that, that'd be much appreciated. But if you're not bothered about the football, I'll meet you back on here. I'll meet you back on here for a film or drama review or an information vlog very, very soon. And I only ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.